Hello Aquarius gang, welcome to my channel Tarot by The Intuitive Teacup. That's me, my name's Annie, and we're going to read your tarot cards here today. I just realized how awkward my sleeves look. I'm like freezing today. Double sleeves. Anyway, what's up guys? I hope you're doing well. Please come into this general reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, with an open heart, with an open mind, a desire to learn something, food for thought. I want you to walk away from this reading feeling ideally motivated, empowered, inspired, informed about something new or a new perspective. If you're not feeling that way, it might not be your message. Give it time to resonate. Sometimes we're not ready to hear the messages when we do, and the universe works in strange ways. I don't have to tell you that. Ultimately, though, I want you to take away what resonates and what speaks to you. If you're not feeling, again, all those positive vibrations or responses and reactions, feel free to push the messages aside. Come back to them another time or tune in to another video. That was a long-winded spiel. Sorry about that, guys. Last but not least, you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. Let's do it. What does Aquarius need to hear from the tarot this week? If you're new to my channel, please think about subscribing if you like how I read, if you like the messages that come through. Hit the like button. That always helps me gain some traction and momentum out there in YouTube land. What's coming in for Aquarius? First card, the Hierophant. Who and what are you committing yourself to? Where do you need to, well, there's a duality here. A fellow fixed sign, right? Taurus. Taurus is coming through with the Hierophant, and there is a lunar eclipse happening in Taurus, right? The opposing sign of Scorpio, which no less is having planet Uranus, your ruling planet, occupy that space. So there's something unexpected or something shifting. It could be in your commitment to something. It doesn't have to be. Let's see. Let's get one more before I really go into this. Yeah, I think it's like you're taking an oath, or it's almost like you're taking a vow. So maybe that's a wedding vow. Some of you may actually be like protesting and taking like a vow of silence or doing something of the sort. You're committing to something, and it may actually happen rather unexpectedly or suddenly, or it's just, you doing your Aquarius thing. You might be doing something that's rather untraditional, or maybe a little bit ahead of its time, or it might be a little bit unusual for the people that are around you. I don't know. Good. I was gonna say, I need more. What is this about? Look at you with all the major arcana. So there's Scorpio. Interesting that we have that polarity of, life, I suppose, if you will, the fertile lands of Taurus, the cow munching on the grass. Then we have the Death card, which is sort of, the ending of cycles. And we have to remember, it sounds scarier than it is. It is ultimately endings and then new beginnings, because Scorpio is all about the transformation, the regeneration. It doesn't just leave you dead and nothing. No, it's a very spiritual sign, and the idea of sort of life after death. So the sun is in Scorpio, the moon is in Taurus, so that's going to end up being this full moon, and what's between it is Temperance. So Temperance is quite literally, I think, finding a balance. It is a Sagittarius card, so you have those three zodiac signs kind of presenting here pretty strongly. Sagittarius is the philosopher, the teacher of the zodiac, the one who likes to spread knowledge enthusiastically and to gather bits and pieces of information to form a more collective, unified system of belief. That's a very big word with Sagittarius. And then rounding this all off, you have the Six of Cups. So Six of Cups is another Scorpio card, Sun in Scorpio no less. So I'm really reiterating this full moon, which is a lunar eclipse. So it's like a full moon on steroids. It's going to be a very important turning point in a lot of the lives of my Aquarians out there. You do have Saturn sitting Saturn is in Aquarius, so at some point in time, it's going to pass over your natal sun if you are a sun sign Aquarius, or if you have a moon there, right? So with Saturn, there is some restriction, but there's also a lighter version of that, as we say, you need to respond to your ability, your responsibility to take care of something, to take it seriously, to work your way through problems and obstacles. You will achieve what you want to achieve, but you may have been thrown a little bit of obstacles or challenges or a curveball. There might be a circumstance where you are liberated from that duty or responsibility, either temporarily or in an unforeseen way. Because your responsibility is calling you elsewhere. There's some sort of new commitment in your life. So maybe, it's possible it could be romantic for some of you. It could be that you inherited some sort of responsibility that you didn't see coming, or something was passed off to you and it's actually occupying much more of your time. I actually think it's a good thing though. It might be some again joining some sort of team or some sort of leadership role where there is like the maintenance factor. It requires upkeep, or again, it requires preservation, or a commitment to the task at hand. Sometimes the Hierophant can be a marriage card. I don't know. It's like it's pulling you away from something, but I think the universe is saying we can't work in such extreme ways of all or nothing. There has to be moderation in how we handle this energy. So Sun in Scorpio, Six of Cups, it's sort of the illumination, the sun of major transformation. Specifically within ourselves, where we allow things to sort of cycle out or die off inside of us so it can be born again, but in a newer state, in a more, what's a good word for it? Almost like better realized. You've had to go through the darkness to get to the light at the end of the tunnel. So I would say, and yeah, and I mean, this card is really beautiful. There's something you're more consciously aware of that maybe was kept in the dark. It could have been a internal issue or a personal issue of like a skeleton in the closet that maybe was keeping you down or keeping you stuck or in a lower vibe. You're transforming it into something beautiful. But with that, there will be some sort of sacrifice that you do have to walk away from something. And again, maybe it's temporary. Like maybe this is something you're going to go back to in the future. For some reason, I feel like this whole walking away from something, it might be a job. Yeah, I feel like, especially for my Aquarius risings, if Saturn is sitting in your first house, there may have been a responsibility to do your, internal work, your spiritual work, your soul searching type work. That's very Sagittarian energy, soul searching, in order to find that match or that connection out in the world, if that is something you're desiring. Certainly it doesn't have to be. But for those interested in romance, those three signs are coming through strong. And yeah, Saturn may actually be saying, you had to struggle, you had to suffer a little bit to understand how much you're capable of. I do kind of like this. I think whatever you are being pulled away from, you seem to be fighting it a little bit, like you're not ready to let go of it, or you think you need it. Or for most of you, it's like you really want to be able to juggle both. And the thing is, this is a general reading, so these are very broad messages, right? Like this could be a million different scenarios for some of you out there. I just get the sense that what's coming in is positive, but with that there's a little bit of a, okay, well, am I ready to let this piece of my life go, or put this sort of project on a back burner? Something about reorganizing your priorities. This has like your focused or fixed attention. Interesting. Six of Cups sometimes does speak about the past, especially past soulmates, past connections. If that doesn't ring true for any of you, if this is maybe a new opportunity, it might just be, again, the recognition of how much you have changed and grown. And I'm sort of getting the idea, this is a positive message, but you went through a very gut-wrenching experience, or a very, I don't know, it could have been something that really tested your strength, or really your self-confidence. You had to struggle with something and sort of flex that muscle to get it to become strong. But the thing is, I think you've earned the reward. I think that's what this is. And so maybe it's just, for some of you, maybe it's just that fear of change, right? It doesn't mean it's bad. It could actually be very good, but it's just this grappling with the decision of, am I ready to let it go? Some of you, your solution is, well, I'm going to try and do both and see how that works out. Okay, Aquarius, you do that. You see how that works out. Let me see if I can get you any more specifics here. And Temperance does speak about moderation. And Scorpio is sort of a different manifestation of that, like, I guess what I'm trying to say, Scorpio can be very extreme. It can be very all or nothing. It can be very black and white. I'm going to do this all day and I'm not going to do anything else. That's kind of Scorpio energy, because it has this very intense focus on things. Temperance is saying, watch that, because you may be going in too deep on two different things. And so you have nothing left for you at the end of the day. Moderation and balance. Make sure you're taking good care of your body too. Your body is your temple. You can't pour from an empty cup. What are we committing to here? Where are we taking some sort of oath or some sort of, it's almost like a declaration of your love or your time or your attention to something. Stop it, really? Oh, good for you. That's awesome. Well, if that's what some of you want, that's what some of you are going to get. There's nothing more I can say. Marriage on the Hierophant card. Wedding bells, baby. That's awesome. If none of that makes sense, there could be some sort of commitment with your parents or someone who is already sort of a married couple in your life, or maybe it's responsibilities of being the bridesmaid. It doesn't have to be these huge life changing things, but I will say with the eclipse there is a major shift here happening. So it's what you make of it. I'm not saying you have to sugarcoat it by any means and just be like, ha ha ha, everything's fine. But ultimately, it is allowing change to come into your life, and that might be hard for some of you. So, it takes practice. Again, flex that muscle, and you'll get it to be strong, where it needs to be. Why is Temperance coming through here? Archangel Michael, the angel of love, is typically a guiding element with Temperance, meaning your spirit team, your spirit guides, whatever you believe in, are watching over you as you do this. Some of you may have a parent who has passed on, several years ago. I don't predict death on my channel. It's almost like their energy is coming through sort of with this, and almost like a blessing this situation, or I don't know what it is. Let's see. The Thief. What is stealing your time away? Where are you, yeah, very Scorpio. I can feel the energy. I have to find words to express it. Self-sabotage. That's a good way of putting it. There's a message here too that some of you, typically, Aquarians are lovers of truth. They're sort of the opposite of the idea of, the performer, the entertainer, the pompous celebrity. This is asking you, where are you being hypocritical in that you are putting on a show even though it's not living your authentic truth? And I don't mean to sound condescending or rude. There's no judgment here, but I'm almost getting the idea of you're walking the walk, you're talking the talk, but you're not walking the walk. That's a message that came through here. If that's not you, it has to do with your Sagittarius person. There's trickery, possibly with a Sagittarius. So yeah, some of you may have a falling out with a friend. What is up here? Some of you had a very turbulent relationship with a father, or possibly still do. I hate to say don't, but I never mean to tell you what to do. Make sure you check in with yourself to make sure you're not repeating patterns in your own familial story or family by picking partners who actually reflect those similar qualities, because isn't that interesting? And for those of you, who are excited about this message, this is by no means doing the 180 of just kidding, this is bad. This feels beautiful and I love it. For others of you who are like, I don't know, I'm not getting engaged, I'm not getting married, I'm not at that spot, it's not what I want. There's another message here for I guess a different group of you, that you may be repeating patterns in the relationships that you forge and just find, the relationships you stumble into with your life, with coworkers, with friends. If you struggle and there's this energy that is very, I don't know, almost imposing, or again, like this pompous, I'm better than everyone else energy, it may stem from something that you grappled or struggled with as a child, and you're meant to go out in the world and sort of face that demon. But how you're going to do it is to transform yourself internally. It's not about walking up to that person and telling them how much you have no respect for them and don't like them. I mean, you can do that. I'm not stopping you. Sometimes I'm a little rebellious in that I kind of like people who speak their mind. I can appreciate that at a certain level. But, social graces and whatnot sometimes factor into it. For you, if we unwrap the present, if we strip off the layers of what this is saying, is that I think there is still a little bit of pain inside of you, something that you probably don't like to think about. It's probably something that you don't like to acknowledge. Maybe that's that whole skeleton in the closet metaphor. I almost see you as the child and the father, or whoever this was. They got a lot of attention, but it's like they saved the best version of themselves for everybody else, and you saw the other side of it. You saw that the words didn't match the action. There was an element of falseness or something. And so your response to that may have to spin off and go in a completely different direction to reject it. And yet, because it wasn't necessarily dealt with in the highest vibrational way, because more or less some of you may have, chose to just escape it rather than confront it. Again, nothing wrong with that, especially if that was, you used the tools you had to work with at the time. Some of you, it's not that you have to go and meet that person out in the real world and have that face-to-face. It's almost like you have to offer your inner child, really indicative of Sun and Scorpio and the Death card. You have to offer that inner child the love and the attention they needed but didn't get. You have to provide it to yourself. And I would say this to any sign, Aquarius, not just you. If we go out in the world looking for other people to be the one who fixes us, to help heal us, to be, the missing piece to the puzzle, it's always going to be missing because you have to find it in yourself. You guys understand that? Yeah. Where are you self-sabotaging or keeping yourself stuck in old patterns of thought? I very much see this as Eight of Swords. You have the key. You hold the key here. I promise you do. The Hierophant, right? He's the one who always holds the key to heaven, the key to God, the key to spirituality, right? You can come out of here whenever you want. And I almost see this idea of like the thief, the mouse, the one who, it comes out at night and steals little crumbs off your floor. There's a change in perception and perspective. Again, this Scorpio transformative energy on how you view something that you used to make out to be a monster. It's just a mouse. It's not as mighty and powerful or intimidating as you thought it was because you're a different person now. You've changed physically, sure, age, you've grown up, but there's also something your response or your perspective on this person has changed where it's almost like you view them as cowardly now. They weren't able to give you that love because there was something maybe broken or unhealed inside of them. So that's why there's like this breakthrough, this epiphany, and it does have to do with parent and child dynamics. And it's possible, Aquarius, you may be the parent in this. Whatever your age is, if you have children and there's a very uncomfortable gap or like what feels like a poor connection or a poor relationship, maybe you're being asked to go back and heal that. I want to say this too. For some of you, this is the initiator of what starts the healing. I don't know. I suppose it could be between a husband and wife, if that makes sense. Sure, you can take that message. Others of you, there's a new celebration in the family. There's a new wedding. Maybe it's yours. Maybe it's someone else's. Again, your sister, your friend, or whatever. Something about this idea of the vows and the commitment to life. This is a commitment to life you didn't get to choose. It has something with a family dynamic, but you do get to choose it moving forward. So again, rather than rejecting it and just being like, ugh, no, never again, you may choose to be the bigger person and come back because again, this icky energy you felt off of this person, it's not the same anymore. This person has changed over time too. So don't think you know everything about this person. This person may actually still have the ability to surprise you. In fact, this person may get you out of a very tricky situation later on. And so you might be glad that you either went back and made amends, or again, maybe this person isn't even around to do that. However this resonates for you, you may even be going back and doing something on a personal, again, internal, spiritual cleansing level too. Ooh, you threw me with a deep one, Aquarius. Yeah, there's something about your coming out pure again on the other end. You refined it, very Virgo-esque energy. You pulled pieces apart that you didn't need anymore. You were able to examine and dissect what was waste. Very Scorpionic, right? Scorpio rules, kind of where things leave the body, if you understand what I mean, the excrement. There's, like, you're clearing out the shit in your closet that you don't need. And by that, I mean sort of the drama, the baggage that you brought with you in childhood. Some of you didn't realize you didn't have to carry it anymore. It's been your narrative. It's been your story that you've always had, an issue with this person or that. And I think the universe is saying, healing, the time has come, my friend. So what are we waiting for? Be careful giving any money to a Sagittarius or lending them money. This is a very specific message. This is not all Sagittarians by any means, but something about this to me is saying someone's borrowing money under the guise of, oh, I had a car issue, can I borrow money? And they go out and like buy a new suit. But the thing is, it's not even for like a job interview or something where it's like, oh, well, I needed it to, they're going out and like peacocking. It's like they just wanted attention or again, it's like they're making up for some sort of hole in their heart by filling the void with like expensive material shit. That could be a Taurus too. I don't know. It doesn't really matter what the sign is. Be careful who you're lending your money to right now because, I don't know, something here is not what it seems. This person, again, like I see the duality and all. As much as I don't like this person's energy, I also feel bad for this person because people laugh at them. This person is under a lot of ridicule and a lot of criticism and a lot of judgment. And they know it. And it's like every time they try and go out and do something and make themselves look better or present themselves in a new way, people laugh at them even more. It's like they're stuck in a trap of trying to impress, and what the thing this person is missing altogether is that self-respect, that love of self. Again, similar to this message, it has to come from within them. If you're always seeking the applause of those around you, you're always going to have that void, that emptiness inside you. You're always going to be wanting the attention of others. This person needs to learn to nourish themselves in a healthier way. And to let go of sort of the critical reception. This could even be happening in a workplace as well. All right, Aquarius, how did I do? 20 minutes? All right, let's do real quick spread. If Aquarius is looking for new love, anything regarding love and romance. Some of you are flat out getting married. I like that with the Hierophant. That seemed loverly. Let's see. New love. The Three of Pentacles. So team building. I believe that's a Mars card. So there's energy being put into some sort of team or connection here. Possibly with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, especially a Capricorn. You have 2 Capricorn cards. And then the Two of Pentacles. All right, so let's see. I'm hearing have your cake and eat it too. Okay, so this is sort of a repeat message. And I never mean to repeat myself in the way I do, but side note, I repeat myself all the time. I'm so aware of it. Please just love me despite my flaws. Right? This is trying to find room in your life for 2, trying to do 2 at once or 2 at the same time. So some of you are going to be faced to choose one. If maybe you have multiple people in the running for your time and attention, or it may come down to, your work responsibilities versus putting more energy and action into your dating life, to being seen, being visible, allowing yourself to go out and socialize a little bit more. I actually think the universe is saying, give yourself a break. Make sure you're making time for the fun stuff. Because I almost get the idea you guys have been working your ass off on something. Like it's good to exhale, right? And walk away from it just for a bit, for a weekend, for a week, for a month, whatever you can do. You've already sown the seeds, so it's like the roots are planted. So part of it, it's good to walk away and come back and then see all the work you've done. Because when you step away, you come back with this new perspective, right? There's like a zoom out of, oh, wow, this actually is really impressive. I didn't realize, how far along I had come. Some of you are going to find out that you're pregnant too. I love it. I would say 3 in a row, earth signs. Earth signs are looking real good for you in the next coming week, Aquarius. Again, something that full moon in Taurus, something about that is significant here. So earth signs may be making themselves known in your life. And if you have any earth sign friends, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, that's coming through very, very strongly. Who has a moon and an earth sign? Let me know in the comments below. Are you a Capricorn moon or a Taurus moon or a Virgo moon? Let's see. And then 3 in Wands. Yeah, your ships are coming in. They're coming in there. 1, 2, 3. In this very kind of like earthy, like wooden of the earth box. I love it. All right, Aquarius, that's what I got for you. Please remember to like the video, guys, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. Goodbye.